Hello and welcome to another video. So I essentially have been purchasing too many books. Everything you can see behind me and two shelves below and a couple of shelves up there are all books that I need to read. They're all unread, or I read them so long ago that I feel like I need to reread them in order to keep them. Basically I've got too many now. That's just as simple as it is. And I saw a few people recently doing the first chapter challenge, where you just read the first chapter and decide if you want to keep reading the book and put it back on your shelf or get rid of it. And I thought that would be really good because I struggle to get rid of books because there's a chance I'd like them. But if I'm giving them a shot, then that's going to be a bit easier. So for me, how I'm doing this is these are either going to be books that I purchased a long time ago and don't know if I'd still like, or books that I'm just really unsure about. I look at them and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like that. Like, it could be for a variety of reasons, honestly, but that's the basics. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you along with me and pick out the books that I'm going to do this for, and then over the next week or two I'm just going to sit down and read the first chapter of all of them. I'm going to create a big pile to the side of my desk. And you know, there's loads of things throughout every day that I'm doing where sometimes you just have to sit there and wait for something to finish, whether that be like importing, exporting, like waiting for a phone call, like anything like that. Like realistically, there's a lot of time where I'm waiting around for something to happen or finish or start. So I figured this would be pretty good because you can quite easily read a chapter. Before I start this, because obviously I don't know exactly how I'm going to film this, I will say if a chapter is only a page or two long, I will read more than the first chapter. I think roughly about 20 pages would be a decent amount to be like, yeah, I like it, I'm going to continue, or no, I'll give this a good enough shot. So yeah, that is the entire plan. So let's go through the shelves and figure out what we want to test with this. Okay, so up here are most of my historical romances or just historical fiction, and I own quite a lot, but I actually haven't really read many or any. So are there any of these that I want to test today? Honestly, I think I'm quite happy with the fact that this one and this one I want to give a fair shot. This one I want to give a fair shot, and I think giving just the first chapter a shot I won't like it from what I've heard, but I think continuing on with it I will. I know I want to read, I know I want to read, no I want to read, I know I want to read. Do you know what, I'm unsure about this one, so let's pick it out. Can I do this one-handed? That is the real question. Oh yeah, okay. I know I want to at least give a good shot, and I know I want to read. Okay, let's move down to this shelf. This is just a few random books, honestly. I don't really know what's here. I think I'm going to select these two out. Gangster Wives is just a random book that I got in a big bag of free books. I thought it sounded interesting, but realistically I should give it a go. And then this was like a free book that I got in a newspaper like 10-15 years ago, and I don't even know what it's about. So realistically, I should also give that a go. Okay, so we're now at the first shelf of like the main TBR bookshelves. As you can see, like those shelves are just above there. So this is a book that I got because I thought I'd want a cheesy Christmas book to read at Christmas. Honestly, I didn't read it because I didn't care enough about it. So yeah, let's test that one out. What else have we got? This one. I picked this up in a charity shop when I was first getting back into reading, and I haven't looked at it since. 15th of July 1988, Emma and Dexter meet on the night of their graduation. Tomorrow them go such ways. Where will they be on this one day next year and the one after that? It sounds like it could be interesting, but I feel like I've definitely heard of other books like this, so maybe I should give it a go this time. Okay, any others, any others? Any others? This one. I can't do this one one-handed. Honestly don't even know why I picked it up. I picked it up a few years ago, and I think it's just because we're in a little independent bookstore and I wanted to support it, and this one was only £3, but honestly I don't know if I care about it, so yeah, I'll put this on the pile as well. Right, and then these here are in my like will self-destruct at the end of 2022, so maybe if I enjoy this process I'll do it again with all of these, but I'm just going to ignore those for now. These I've just purchased, they're ready for a haul. These are literally all of my high fantasy. I know I want to get through to all of these at some point. These are for another haul I've literally just purchased. yeah, I know I want to read all of those. Let's check this side. I know I want to read these, and these are all classics here, so yeah, realistically, I need to read all of these. Honestly, like, I've purchased them because I genuinely want to read them, so I don't think there's any point doing this. This shelf... No, these are all ones that I'm like actively ready to read, so that's fine. Okay, so going into the bottom shelves, that like are the ones that can't be seen when I'm filming. You can see that these are all double stacked, so I am gonna go through these and see what I think. This one, I don't know if you can see it, this one. At some point maybe I should do this for all of the Stephen King I own as well, but for right now I'm just gonna ignore them, to be honest. Okay, so I've got quite the stack here. I've managed to find 9 books out that I'm unsure about and want to give a chance to read, but I'm not too hopeful. I think the one I'm most hopeful about here is The Miniaturist. The one I'm least hopeful about is this one, which, funny story, when I picked it up I thought it was a Wheel of Time book, and I got so involved within my head that I needed to pick this up and pay for it quickly. It was like £1 from a charity shop, because I couldn't believe I'd found it in a charity shop. This was literally as the TV show was being announced and coming out. But I didn't actually stop to read and see that it said The Wheel of Fortune, not The Wheel of Time, and it's some massive historical fiction which is all based around a family spanning over multiple generations, which, to be honest, doesn't really sound like my jam. I still want to give it a go because I feel like, you know, I could end up loving this book, and then it's an even funnier story that I've completely mistook what I was buying. But yeah, that's what I'm least... I think I'm least likely to like. And this one, I think I'm most likely. There's no rhyme or reason in between. But yeah, over the next few weeks, I will give the first chapters a try and then tell you what I think. I will probably pop in, read the back of the book that I'm about to do the first chapter for, read the first chapter and tell you what I think. And yeah, hopefully in a week or two's time I'll know if I'm keeping or getting rid of these. So yeah, that's the plan. Okay, thought I'd start with this one. This is Christmas at Little Beach Street Bakery. On the back it says it's Christmas in the Cornish coastal village of Mount Polburn, a time for family, friends and feasting. Polly Waterford loves running the Little Beach Street Bakery, and the festive season always inspires her to bake something extra special for the village resident. In fact, the only thing she loves more is curling up with her gorgeous boyfriend Huckle. This Christmas should be their best one yet, but life doesn't always go to plan. When Polly's best friend Kerensa turns up with a secret that threatens life Polly and Huckle have built together, the future begins to look uncertain. Then, a face from Polly's past reappears and things become even more complicated. Polly can usually find solace in baking, but she has a feeling that it's not going to be enough this time. Can she get things back on track so that everyone has a Merry Christmas? Honestly, it sounds like trash. I don't know why I thought I wanted to read it last Christmas, but yeah, I'm going to read the first chapter and figure it out. I'll get rid of this. I haven't read any. I've gone to the first page and there's like an author's note there and it says thank you for picking up the last book in the Little Beach Street trilogy. I've loved writing about the adventures of Polly and Huckle, so I'm not going to go into book 3 without having read the others, and I am not gonna read the others, so this was an easy one. It's going, it's gone. So, Midnight in Peking is Peking 1937. The teenage daughter of a British consul is brutally slaughtered. The police investigation is botched. As war looms, British and Chinese authorities close ranks. A grieving father vows to uncover the truth, alone. 75 years later, historian Paul French uncovers a stash of forgotten documents, revealing the killer's identity. It sounds like it could be good, I just don't know if I can be arsed with it. Like, it's like 250 pages and yeah, I just don't know if I care. I don't really like detective-y type novels. Like, I enjoy a little bit of crime, a little bit of murder mystery, but like when it's like nitty-gritty detective-y stuff, not normally a bit of me. So yeah, I'll give it a go and let you know. I did quickly want to pop in and say I have now found out it's a true story, so that does actually make me more interested. So yeah, let's give it a go. Okay, so this does actually read really interesting. Chapter 1 really sets up what happened, how the body was found, all of that. And it does actually sound interesting. I'm not going to keep it. It reads like the true crime stuff that I enjoy to watch, but the point there is, when it comes to true crime content, my preferred method is through like watching or podcasts and stuff like that. And I just don't think I'm going to get as much out of a book as I would that. And yeah, I just don't really think it's for me. I don't know, like I am already second guessing that because I do enjoy true crime, but reading it I was very much like, I want the visuals, I want to know what people look like, I want all the stuff that I normally get from a video, which I'm not going to get like from a book like this. So maybe I should try a more like in-depth, thorough, like pictures included true crime book at some point, but for this one I'm going to say no. Okay, I'm going to quickly try out Gangster Wives. This said, Sadie, Nikki, Poppy and Kate, 4 women who are on the surface sexy, confident and wealthy, but each of them is trapped in a loveless and sometimes violent marriage to 4 of the most feared London gangsters. For years they have lived a life of idle luxury, shopping, lunching and occasionally playing away, but all the time loyally staying behind the scenes while their men rule the East End criminal underworld with violence and terror. But times change and events conspire and they decide to fight back and take their men on at their own game, because when it comes to getting the money, the female is definitely more deadly than the male. This is one that I've picked up for free. I don't know if I want to read it, and I do feel like how this has gone so far with the 2 that I've already tried, it's making me feel better about myself. Like if I think I no longer am interested in a book but I don't feel like I can just give it away, like how this is going so far is making me feel better about just giving it away, about needing to do this. But yeah, let's give this a read. It looks like the chapters are very short. 8 pages is the first chapter, so let's read it now. Okay, so I've read the first chapter. It's not good, but it was a very easy read, and we've already seen 2 perspectives, and the first name on chapter 2 is another different name, so I feel like this is going to be loads of multiple perspectives. I think I might keep this and give it a go at some point. Maybe I'll keep it but like put it on like if I haven't actually got around to reading it in the next year or something like that, because I don't know, like I was hooked more than I expected to be. So yeah, I think I'm going to keep it. Saying goodbye to this one. Bit boring to be honest. The first chapter didn't grip me and didn't seem very interesting, and when I looked it up on Goodreads it looks like every few chapters are completely different people and about completely different things. So yeah, just don't think this one is one for me. I didn't like the writing style. It yeah, it just wasn't for me. I didn't like it, so I'm gonna get rid of it. Okay, I'm not gonna lie and pretend, but I have already decided not to keep this one, but I will read the back first and then explain why. Julia Beckett believes in destiny. When she moves into Greyweathers, a beautiful 16th century farmhouse, she suspects that more than coincidence has brought her here. The locals are warm and welcoming, especially the eligible squire of Crofton Hall. Yet beneath the ordinaries, Julia senses a haunting sadness about her new home. Then she learns of Mariana, a beautiful young woman who lived there 300 years ago. It seems history has been waiting for Julia. So obviously I attempted to read the first chapter and I didn't even get 5 pages in. It was boring, and if it's not gripping me from the first few pages there's no point. I didn't get to the part about Mariana, the second person. But I knew when I kept this one, this was in a massive bag of books that I'd got. I knew when I kept it, I was keeping it because I didn't really have any like historical romance type books, and that's obviously always a possibility when I play my TBR game that I have to select something like that. But since then I've got a few others, so I no longer like need a book like that in my collection. So yeah, I'm gonna let it go. I couldn't get through it. It wasn't for me. Okay, so I've only got 4 books left of this like whole thing. These 2 don't think I'm gonna like. These 2 I do think I'm gonna like, so I guess I should pick one to start with. I guess I'll leave the 2 that I think I'm gonna like till the end and do this one first. This is just called The Twins. Inseparable as children, they've grown into very different adults. Isolde is a successful features writer for a fashion magazine, and Viola desperately unhappy and struggling with a lifelong eating disorder. What happened all those years ago to set the twins on such different paths to adulthood? As both women start to unravel, the escalating tragedies of a half-remembered summer, terrifying secrets from the past come rushing back and threaten to overwhelm their adult lives. It just doesn't sound like something I'm going to enjoy, but I'm definitely willing to give it a go, so I guess I'm going to go read the first chapter and come back and tell you what I think. Okay, so the first chapter of this was 4 pages long. There wasn't a lot to it, but I am decided on getting rid of it. I'm not vibing with it, to be quite honest. It starts out saying how they weren't always twins, they started out as one person, and was very like weird in the description, which I have quickly looked on Goodreads, and it does say that well, 6 out of the 37 like voters have voted it a thriller, so I'm thinking maybe that's why it's written weird, but I don't know. Like, it's being written from an adult's perspective, but the writing is very childish. Like, mummy said this, mummy was this, like, no. All we've really got so far is the like descriptions of these people, and I don't think I like even the concept of this story anymore, to be honest, so I'm just going to give it a miss. I feel very confident about getting rid of this one and about not needing to read it and not ever feeling like I'm going to want to find it and pick it up again. So yeah, getting rid of the twins. Okay, now this is the other one that like I'm really not sure about. So I actually got this in a book shopping video that I did. I'll link it up above. Basically, in the excitement and the fact that I was being social for like the first time in I don't know how long, and the fact someone was trying to talk to me, I picked this up thinking it was a different book to what it was. So I thought this was The Wheel of Time. It is The Wheel of Fortune, which is a historical fiction, multi-generational family saga, which is just not anything that I've ever felt I wanted to like pick up, read, have interest in, want to know about, care to read about. I just don't. But because I have brought it, it kind of seems like I should maybe give it a chance. I'm not going to read the back of this one because there's so much stuff and I don't know how this like multi-generational thing works, so I feel like there's only parts of this that I'm even going to get in the first chapter. But if you are interested, this is the back of the book. Feel free to pause it and have a read, but this is a massive description. So yeah, I don't even know what to say about this, honestly. I guess I'm just going to start reading. How long is the first chapter? I don't know. I'm gonna figure this out. I might just read a couple of pages because already flicking through it I'm not feeling it, but it's worth giving a go. Well, do you know what? Yeah, it's worth giving a go because I've put it in this pile to like do this with, but the more I think about this, the more I'm like, I was never interested in it to begin with. Like, it is okay just to get rid of it. So yeah, I'm gonna have a quick read. I haven't made it through the first page. This the only perspective I've read from, the only page I've read, is from Robert. Robert is already talking about his seductive youth, his romantic endeavours, his massive failure of a man, his how he's such a rational man, really. And I'm just like, no, this is not the vibe. I'm not about it. I don't know why I thought I should give it a go because I'd accidentally picked it up, and what if I'd magically stumbled upon a gem. But for me and my reading taste, I have not. So this, gonna go. So then we're down to these two, both of which I do think I'm going to like, but I've owned them for a long time and I haven't read them yet. One day I'm not going to read the back, so I'm going to tell you what I know. One day we literally see one day every year for a lot of years and just visit these two people on one day of their lives. So it's the 15th of July 1988. Emma and Dexter meet on the night of their graduation. Tomorrow they must go their separate ways. So where will they be on this one day next year and the year after that and every year that follows? It sounds really interesting. It's got a lot of really good reviews. I'm interested in reading it, but why haven't I picked it up? Maybe this is like the push I need to make sure I still want to read it. And then The Miniaturist, I've always wanted to read. I've always found it very intriguing. This is a historical fiction about an 18-year-old Nella Ortman. It's set in Amsterdam. And yeah, there's a lot of secrets, there's a household, and there's the Miniaturist. Sounds great, sounds amazing. I think when I was a lot younger I watched the movie that's been made out of this, I think. But either way, I've always been very interested in it, always wanted to read it, and it's a standalone. It's been on my shelves for a while now, and this year, 2022, it's been released that it's no longer a standalone, there's a sequel coming out. I don't know if I can be arsed with that shit, so let's give it a go. I guess I'll read the first chapter of this one first, because the only reason I'm considering this as like a possibility of like, okay, I don't actually want to keep it, I'm okay with getting rid of it, is because there is this sequel coming out. I am still genuinely interested about everything it says on it, so as long as I vibe with like the writing style and how it's written and like the main character, I'm guessing it's going to be a yes. But people need to stop making sequels of books that are actually standalones. Okay, so I've read the prologue of this. I didn't read the first chapter, just the prologue, but I think I like the writing style. However, the book itself seems quite preachy and churchy and godly, which I'm not into. However, the actual content that you hear about on the back sounds really interesting, and it was very quick to read, very easy to read along, so I think I'm going to keep it for now. And this is another one that I think I might keep for now, but it might be put into next year's self-destruct part of read it or get rid of it. But I am still interested in reading this. I do think that the writing style is nice and interesting and easy. Okay, so last but not least, we have One Day. I've already given you the description of this one, so let's just read the first chapter and see where it goes. Okay, so I've read half of chapter 1 and I can tell I'm really gonna like it. Well, I don't think I'm gonna like the story, but the writing style's nice. Already like liking and enjoying the two main characters, and yeah, it honestly sounds like a good time and I can see why people like it. So this one is a keep, and that was the last book. So out of all this, I'm going to be keeping, no, I'm going to be getting rid of and unhauling these books. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books here, and these were all no's. For one reason or another, not a fan, didn't vibe with, they gotta go. And I'm going to be keeping these 3. This one I'm like really confident about, these 2 not so much, but what I read of them was enough to make me think I might enjoy them. So yeah, that is that. Out of the 9 books that we picked, I did think I'd pick 10, but I'm not gonna lie, it's been about 3 weeks since I started this. But out of the 9 books I've got here, which I assume I must have only picked 9, I'm keeping 3 and getting rid of 6. So yeah, this is a lot of fun to film, this is a lot of fun to make, and honestly it was a really decent way of deciding some books that I wasn't sure about. So yeah, I do hope that you've enjoyed the video. If you did like it, please do give it a like. Subscribe down below if you'd like to see more content like this, and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye.